Alright guys, I wanted to do a little review on my new fishing setup here. It's Okuma RTX-25S and an Ugly Stik 4.5 foot ultralight. It's an Ugly Stik Elite rod. It's the ultralight. I wanted a short, light rod to go along with this really lightweight reel. Just have a really lightweight pole rod to use. Now for the past year I've been using this Okuma. This is a Helios 30 size, and I've been using it on a 6.5 foot medium action pole, and it's been my favorite, best pole I've ever had. For the price of these Ugly Stiks, it's really amazing. Now it's using a GX2 pole, and behind it I have another GX2 which I use my bait caster on, and it's a 6 foot medium action as well. These rods are only about 35 bucks, and they've never broken on me. They're really good feel to them. Really recommend them. Really like this Okuma brand too. But we're going to be testing out this new Okuma RTX-25S, and like I said, this is an Ugly Stik Elite. They're more around 50 bucks for this rod, but they use more graphite, 35% more graphite, so they're lighter. They're still stronger. They have your white tip still. They have ugly guides. They call them ugly. That's what they just call them. They call them ugly guides, and they're supposed to be strong and a little bit upgraded since previous models. And I'm using a 20-pound spider wire on this smaller pole and a 30-pound spider wire on the larger one. But overall, these Okuma reels, not the lowest cost, but they're nowhere near the highest cost, trail or guide rated ones. But for the price and for just the average home fisherman, they're one of the best you can get for under 100 bucks. Rods as well, you can get rods that are guide rods that are 300, 400 bucks. For 50 bucks or less. These are probably the best you can get. So we'll go ahead and take this outside, see if we catch a fish, and talk a little bit more about it as we're using it. Like I said, I wanted a short rod. It's a 4.5 foot. Usual one I use is 6.5, so 2 feet less. And I did this so bass fishing for 5-pound bass or something around there. It should feel like there's a lot bigger fish on there because it's a smaller, more bendy rod. So it should provide a little bit more fun when you catch, because it should just feel like a lot bigger of a fish. So I also wanted a super light pole, and this is made a lot of carbon fiber in here as well as here. This Helios 30 and this RTX-25S, they're about the same weight. This one has a little bit faster retrieve. Both have tons of carbon fiber and both feel really smooth. So let's go see what happens. Alright, so got to the pond here. We're going to try fishing. Just wanted to show this in the sunlight a little better. You can see the carbon really good. Super light pole or rod here. Rod and reel setup we got here. I like how, if you cast a lot all day, you won't even notice it really. So we're going to go ahead, set up the camera, and hopefully we'll catch a fairly good fish on here. Alright guys, so that pole works pretty good. Caught him pretty close to shore, but you saw how the pole bent there. Pretty darn nice though, a little bass, and I'd say about a pound, pound and a half, nothing big. But the rod and reel worked great. Wish I caught him a little farther out, but you could see it bent a lot. That was still a lot of fun. He felt bigger than he really was. So I'm going to get him off, and we'll see y'all later. Happy fishing. Alright everyone, so I just got back inside. You saw that fish. Like I said, he was pretty close to shore, but it was pretty fun to catch on this little, really bendable rod. I casted this rod for over probably an hour and a half, 2 hours so far total. Not a ton, but I went out casting a lot, and I just caught one fish so far. The fish just weren't biting this lure I was using that much. But it was really light. This reel here is under 7 ounces. Forget the weight of this rod, but the whole thing is like less than a pound. It's really light, easy to keep casting over and over, and it's really kind of fun to fish on such a short pole. I'm used to 6+ feet poles, and this one's just 4.5. So really fun, very lightweight, easy to carry anywhere, and still able to catch any fish. I'd say up to 10 pounds. Anything heavier than that, you'd be stressing this pole already at anything over 7 pounds. You might get a 10-pounder on it though without breaking it. but for, you know, pond fishing and such, for bass and everything, really fun thing to catch them on. So if you have any questions about it, again, that's the Okuma RTX-25S. They have different size models. This is the 25 size, and this is the 4.5 foot single piece Ugly Stik Elite. So pretty darn cool setup. Any questions, let me know. Happy fishing.